to another webinar powered by Royal Cyber. My name is Ali, and I'll be your host and one of the speakers for today. Now, some ground rules before for a smoother experience before we begin. Now, if you're unable to see my screen or hear me properly, kindly notify me on the chat window located at the right side of the pan. Um, you can always ask your questions during or you can post your questions anytime during the presentation, and your questions will be answered in the sequence in which they are received. Um, Also, there will be a short question and answer session towards the tail end where we'll be able to address all of your questions related to this specific topic. Okay. So now in the next 50 to 55 odd minutes, we are going to talk about powering the AI agents across your enterprise with MuleSoft Agent Fabric and Agent Force. This is pretty interesting topic, pretty highlighted these days. There is an agentic AI coming into the picture. There is an artificial intelligence based agent across, and a lot of things are happening which are basically surrounded by the human plus the AI agents. And today we're going to actually dive into the details to dig out and understand how this is going to be essential and important within your own organizations as well. So here we are. Okay. Uh, if you can go to the next screen, please. Okay, so here is the agenda of our webinar for today. We will just start with the introduction of Royal Cyber. We will then discuss how to infuse the AI into the enterprises. We'll introduce the Agent Force and its evolution towards the enterprise AI landscape. We'll also talk about designing the agent-ready APIs and the architecture, discussing about the API catalogs, talking about Mule Agent Fabric, how this is going to work. We'll talk about Mule AI Chain, MCP, agent to agent protocols, and all these kind of things. We'll go through a live demonstration of all of this, where there is an exclusive offer towards the end. And of course, the question and answer session that will happen, during this session. And any questions or queries you guys will have, we will try to address those, at the end of this session. Okay, so first thing first, let's talk about the presenters. So I'm your host, Ali, and talking to you about this very interesting topic, which is this Agent Force and Mule Agent Fabric. And alongside with me is one of my great colleague and a very knowledgeable speaker, OS. OS is basically leading the architecture side of MuleSoft Agent Fabric, and very much involved into the AI and all that. Uh, Oves, if you could just say hello.
Hi guys. Uh,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you. So let's talk about the overview of Royal Cyber. So we're a mid-sized IT consulting and digital transformation company specialized in services, solutions, and software. We're in the business for about 25 years and above. We have around 2,500 plus employees globally. Our headquarters is in Naperville, Illinois, with our offices in Middle East, the UK, Australia, uh, and of course, in the we have our development center, which we call it as a back office or the kitchen in some of the Asian countries. We have around 600 plus certified consultants, about 600 and above happy customers that we have so far, and above all, we've got a number of awards and recognitions, during this process. And we have some of the strategic partnerships with some of the technology leaders, for example, MuleSoft, Salesforce, IBM, Microsoft, Oracle, SAP. And all of these are specialized in their domains. Of course, today, as we are talking about a very specific topic which is related to artificial intelligence based on Mule Agent Fabric and Agent Force, so we're going to be highlighting and talking more towards the Salesforce, MuleSoft kind of an ecosystem. Okay, next. Okay, so this is where our expertise lies. By the way, this department who's working right now and who's basically talking to you is belongs to middleware. We have cloud computing, we have e-commerce, we have big data, we have robotic process automation, we have mobile development. We have a lot of AI and ML based use cases, which are, pretty much related to the machines and all that. We've got, portal expertise, integration expertise. We have the BPM and ODM capabilities. We have a blockchain understanding and capabilities as well. We are dealing with some of the mainframe systems as well, AS400 and all. We have a DevOps, expertise, and our niche and focus area is more towards the business intelligence and all that. And with that in mind, I'm going to hand this over to my colleague Oves. And Oves is going to talk about how this AI will come into the picture, how this infusion of AI will happen into the enterprise, and how to lead all of this. Over to you, Oves.
Sure, sure. Thank you, Ali, for the introduction. Hopefully, you would be able to hear me clearly.
I
And I would
can.
also like to, yeah, thank you. And I would also like to thank all the members who have joined today in this webinar. So first of all, we will discuss about AI and especially the generative AI inside enterprises. And then we will go towards Agent Force. We will take a deep dive into the Agent Force, and then the Agent Fabric, the MuleSoft Agent Fabric. We will talk a bit about it, how it is trying to solve a lot of current problems that people are having with their AI POCs or agentic AI frameworks, or especially having AI agents along the different enterprises and systems and subsystems. So if we follow along, we first need to realize why AI is becoming a core principle into all of our ecosystems. It's been about 3 to 4 years since generative AI and the advent of LLM has taken place. But not only generative AI is initially it was just part of just mingling with the text, but right now generative AI is much more. It can now focus not only on text, but it can perform actions. It can seamlessly integrate into the business ecosystems, including the subsystems, including the backend systems, and especially it can not only correlate with text, but it can also understand images, pictures. It has thinking capability. It tries to address the thinking. It tries to understand documents, and so with the advent of generative AI, it has uh, the core has been that to streamline a lot of processes, to fasten a lot of production systems, and to ease the end users and the users and the admins who are working internally. And so AI is becoming a part of essentially every each and every person, uh, and we can essentially access AI using not only our enterprise systems, but also through our small smartphones, our smartwatches. So AI has become a core integral part of life, especially tasks that were very monotonous. AI has handled that, and it has been part of all the domains, not only just enterprise, not only just business, not only just B2B. AI has become a part of everything that we are seeing. So that's why what we are proposing is that generative AI should be should be a significant part of enterprises as well. And through the advent of MuleSoft and Agent Force, we can essentially make this possible. So the power of generative AI is first of all, it has been a significant technological shift in the markets, especially the shifts that we have previously. This is indeed something that all the stakeholders are looking into, and especially that 82% of the people believe that this will and this has significantly transformed a lot of the industry, and not only the IT industry, but all of the other automation industry as well, not just software. Uh, it is really transforming each and everything. And so our goal is how generative AI can be integrated into different enterprises and enterprises subsystems, and how it can ease the use in solving everyday problems, and try to try to improve people's personal and professional lives. Generative AI has a lot of impact in the productivity, and it is also estimated that it will have around 2.6 billion to around 4.4 billion USD dollars annually in the global economy. So our challenge is how we can identify core systems of systems, core processes, and how we can automate that with generative AI. And with the advent of LLMs and generative AI, now we have AI agents, which are essentially those uh, wrappers, or those you can say systems which uses generative AI to handle repetitive and mundane tasks. And so this in theory frees up the human workers so that they can focus more on complex and creative work and hand over the mundane task to the generative AI system. So, for example, AI agents have uh, the capability to analyze large volumes of data quickly. They can provide actionable insights. They can now even directly execute code. They can now generate, let's say, visualizations, and they can provide a lot of different feedback to the user, which was not previously a thing in the later years. Uh, they can they can be AI powered chatbots and virtual assistants, but they can be more. This is something that I'll discuss in the next slide, where now they can run on the background. They can autonomously run in the background. They can try to perform some actions on the user behalf and try to automate things altogether. So apart from this, they are also adapting to the user preferences over time. We are now seeing that a lot of models provided by a lot of cloud providers, they are getting better day by day, especially models that we get from different cloud providers, including OpenAI, Anthropic. They are constantly improving their models. They are also giving us the option to self-host our models either on different cloud platform, either AWS or Microsoft, or otherwise if there is a security concern, we can truly take an open source model and host them on inside a company premises. Lastly, AI agents not only respond to dynamic environments, but they can adjust based on the real time data. uh, Previously we had rags, we had knowledge bases, we had data inside rags, but it was very hard to update those knowledge bases. But right now AI agents can actually call those real-time data from different systems, and through the data that they get, they can actually perform some certain sort of actions. They can perform some certain sort of principle, because real-time data is something that can be dynamically updated, and it's always up to date. AI agents can interactively think about it and provide you a much better feedback and output. So these are not only the four capabilities. I have added much more additional capabilities, especially because AI agents can do much more than than the capabilities that we have written over here. So initially, generative AI was really good with creation. It was really good with tokenization, summarization. It was really good with discovering content all around the internet, providing you with knowledgeable data. But right now, we are also seeing that AI agents are especially really interactive and are really good with automation and actions as well. And so by automation and action, I meant that AI agents, either you prompt them or if you automate them as background task, they can perform some certain actions in the background, and then they can update the user about it. So one of the examples would be to, let's say, generate a report in the background. So the AI agent will automatically will have some certain processes. It will try to interact with some certain systems, and then it will perform a task on the user behalf. So it's not only just creation or summarization anymore. It's now much more. It's automation and performing action as well. And so that's why AI agents, they can be something that you can chat with, but they can be something that they can be automated as well. And so that's why I have mentioned that AI agents can be something that can run in the background. So this is a small demonstration on how different enterprises can launch their first use case in a month. What they can do is, if a lot of enterprises or SMEs, if they are not if they are not clear about AI, and they are not sure how AI can actually help them in their day-to-day life, what they can do is they can first try to identify a specific domain within their team. this can be something that they can do internally, or this can be something that they can think about their end customers. Let's say if it's sales, if it's e-commerce. This is just an example, but they have, what they have to do is they have to identify a very specific domain. They have to select a persona. Then they need to determine, what capabilities do the AI agents need to perform. Is it only chat? Is it only reasoning? Is it a background task that they want that the AI agent to perform? And then they can either create a tiger team within their own internal within their own internal team, or they can contact any of the service providers. Here Royal Cyber can pitch in. They can help you with our expertise, with our generative AI expertise, how you can build a team, build some specific use cases, and build a system. Now that system could be on MuleSoft, that could be on Salesforce, or that could be something else entirely, or something else on other cloud providers. So we at Royal Cyber can actually help you to identify your use cases and how to implement them. Uh, Together with that, you can define your goals. Once you have your team in place, you can then design some of the prompts or infrastructure with your team. Especially then you can realize if you need a UI UX. If your agent is running in the background, do you really need a UI UX? Do you need a UI UX or a dashboard, let's say, to know what the agents are performing, or do you need a completely chat interfaces? And then follow along when you're done with your pilot, with your MVP. Then you can expand it to more users. And once the pilot is successful, now you can truly build it into a production use case, and then expand it into a more different use cases. So if we follow along, these are some of the KPIs that we have with generative AI, especially that they are getting day by day more accurate. Some of these models, when they are updating, especially those updated models, they are really accurate with the amount of data that they have, especially the foundational knowledge that they have, and even the data that they use within your ecosystem. Apart from that, AI, the one of the leading KPIs of generative AI, that they do increase the productivity, not only of those admins, but they also increase the customer satisfaction as well. And this in turn leads to cost saving, because a lot of your manual processes can now be automated using generative AI, and this can save a lot of time as well as cost as well. Because generative AI, again, we can get a lot of different outputs. It can not only be images, it can not only be text, but video as well. So the quality of output is always great. uh, uh, Again, this KPI, it will have a very positive impact on the business, because if you're automating a lot of things within internally or within your customers, uh, the the productivity will also increase, but it will also have a good business impact. The training time and cost is also less, because a lot of generative AI already have a lot of foundational knowledge. Uh, so a lot of users do not need to rely on knowledge that they have within themselves. They can rely on the knowledge that the LLM has, or if the LLM is not able to uh, able to have that concrete knowledge, we can allow that LLM to have that foundational knowledge through uh, different processes, either fine tuning, or um, either providing the context. If you're not, if you're afraid of automation, then we also have human in the loop, where if the agent, if you want the agent to take approval from the human, then human in the loop, what it allows is that the agent can actually ask the human what task it needs to perform, and it actually takes an approval before performing that each and every task. Of course, we have scalability with the models that we deploy and the agents that we deploy. Those agents can be hosted differently, but in terms of scalability, we will discuss how that is defined inside Salesforce Agent Force and MuleSoft. And in the end, there we have regulatory compliance. Now, if you're already building something on top of MuleSoft, uh, Agent Force or MuleSoft Agent Fabric, you do not need to worry much about regulatory compliance. That compliance is usually or is taken care by those middleware and the CRM system, that is Salesforce and MuleSoft. So if we move along, these are some of the key steps to integrate AI. That is when you need to first determine uh, where AI can add the most value. You need to select the right AI models. This is very important. Let's say some of the generative AI models, if they do not perform better according to your business needs, then you need to select the right models through the right cloud providers. Then you need to develop a integration strategy, that is, how AI will interact with your existing systems or subsystems. This is something that I will also cover inside MuleSoft Agent Fabric. And then you need to understand how generative AI will consume all of that data, how much data it will consume, and which type of data do you need to give to your LLM so that it can perform a lot better. And in the end, once you have your goals ready, once you have the right models, once you have your integration and your LLM in deployed, now you can monitor the performance of your agent and then improve it to be much more better, either to your end users, to your customers, or within your internal team. So moving along, let's talk about the the elephant in the room, that is Agent Force, and how MuleSoft has allowed to integrate within itself Agent Force, and especially the API catalog integration that they have provided. So this can be for those customers who already have MuleSoft. This can be for customers who have AgentForce, or they have Salesforce CRM they are already using. Or this could be something that if you only have MuleSoft, this can be something that we can identify inside MuleSoft Agent Fabric. So right now, what AgentForce is an agent orchestration layer which is built on top of the Salesforce ecosystem. And what it essentially allows is you can create your own agents within the Salesforce ecosystem. And not only agents, you can do your integrations, and especially you can select the right models from there. So right now, Salesforce Agent Force has the capability to integrate with different models, either if they are from OpenAI, from Anthropic, from Gemini. So our main goal is how we can utilize AgentForce and your current infrastructure with MuleSoft, and how those agents inside AgentForce can communicate with the MuleSoft ecosystem. So as we all know that MuleSoft Anypoint platform is 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 a middleware that facilitates all the seamless integration between uh, different external systems. So what MuleSoft does, MuleSoft and AgentForce have done is they have integrated both of these systems, and they have provided us an API catalog where we can expose all of our APIs from MuleSoft AgentForce and integrate them with AgentForce using the API catalog and the topic center. This would be something that I would also showcase inside the demo on how that topic center is actually integrated with the Anypoint platform. Now, because we know that Anypoint platform has Anypoint Exchange, we can have the group of API catalogs over there. Uh, you can have your legacy APIs over there. You can have your new APIs over there. And through the MuleSoft Exchange, those APIs will now be discoverable inside AgentForce. So AgentForce will be able to identify, okay, these are the set of APIs that your MuleSoft has, and how we can easily integrate them. Then again, once you have those APIs and integrations in place, you can then easily integrate them with AgentForce AI agents. And so this in return will allow us to have our own middleware and our own agent orchestration in place. And so this will reduce the effort which is required when building your integrations and implementing the patterns that you use in your design solutions. So if I follow along, uh, these are some of the 10 significant security risks, especially prompt injection. This is something that that can be a main concern, especially with the enterprises. Then we have insecure output handling, training data poisoning, denial of service from the LLM, or maybe there can be model theft, over reliance on the model, and on the integration that the model is doing. Then there is also sensitive information disclosure. So these are really the significant security risk that a lot of LLMs, generative AI, and AI agents uh, are facing. But the key thing is, because say, we are utilizing Salesforce Agent Force and MuleSoft, both of them have additional layers in which we can prevent these entirely. So from the MuleSoft side, we have Flex Gateway, and so we can uh, add more additional policies on Flex Gateway, which would be related to uh, AI agents and the data that they are getting. On the MuleSoft side, we have Flex Gateway, but on the Salesforce side, we have an Einstein secure layer. And so what does that Einstein secure layer does is it provides an extra layer of preventing all of these security risks, especially prompt injection and sensitive information disclosure. So with sensitive information, we can actually block all your PII data. And so we have that layer inside Agentforce as well as MuleSoft. So if we move along, uh, these are some of the use cases that you can build upon Agentforce. Especially, you can also build some use cases which can be internal to Salesforce ecosystem, because Agentforce is directly and tightly integrated with Salesforce. You can have something. You can have an agent for CRM. You can have an agent, for instance, for order management, which could internally work with the Salesforce ecosystem. But you can have something else entirely. That is, you can have your agents with customer service, for sales or marketing, even for finance. Uh, let's say if you're using a CRM within the Salesforce, and if you have some finance related data, or let's say if you have some subsystem which is integrated with MuleSoft, which contains some finance related data or audit logs, you can basically integrate that within your agents and create a use case based on it. So within the use case, you need to identify what business value it creates. Of course, in our demonstration, we will try to demo sales, but of course, each and any other use case will have its own business value. Let's say that your within customer service, you want to increase the contact resolution rate, you want to reduce the average handling time, you want a much more better customer service that caters to all your customer needs, to reduce the downtime and increase the customer satisfaction. With sales, it could be to boost the sales velocity, to allow the user to truly understand your sales ecosystem, what type of products do you have, and then place orders as well. And with marketing, it could be something to increase your campaign efficiency, to reduce dependency on your market research and allow the AI agent to do the research for you, and then support consistent brand messaging. That would be when it reaches to when it has its own outreach, when it does your agent does your outreach, it can actually support your already included branding that you already have. So if I move along, now I'm going to talk about MuleSoft Agent Fabric. Now this is something that MuleSoft introduced just last year, and they have four essential components that I'm going to take a deep dive into. But you need to realize why Agent Fabric is built on the first place. Because MuleSoft is a leading middleware with the integrations ecosystem, they realized a very common problem, that is, a lot of uh, a- agents are being built on different ecosystems. So right now, you can build an agent on Salesforce, you can build an agent on AWS, you can build an agent on, let's say, Google Cloud. The issue is that different teams and different enterprises are building different agents, but there is no uh, unified repository in which you can understand, what different type of agents am I using, what different type of LLMs am I using, or what different type of MCP servers am I using. So here, MuleSoft Agent Fabric, it acts as a bridge where it provides you a certain a centralized discovery and orchestration layer, along with security, where all of your AI agents, all of your MCP servers, and all of uh, your LLMs or your APIs and your legacy APIs can be in one place. And so what does this essentially does is, it will allow you that allow organization and allow enterprises that whatever agents their teams are using, they can have a centralized repository, and then they can either orchestrate extra agents, or they can govern them and even observe them through the agent visualizer. So there are four essential core components. Uh, that is, first of all, you can discover all your AI agents which can be discovered as assets in just one place. You can orchestrate your agent, or if you want to orchestrate a multi-agent workflow, you can do that easily. Then you can govern using some flags gateway policies and then observe each of the agent behavior. And so what MuleSoft has allowed us is we are actually managing AI systems as the same way that we used to manage APIs and integrations today. So this was one core problem that that MuleSoft uh, resolved early on. Now this is another problem that they are resolving, that all of your AI systems are at one place that a lot of other big tech companies are not looking into. So if I took a deep dive inside the four core principle, we first of all have the discovery, where using MuleSoft Anypoint Exchange, you can now uh, uh, have your agents, have your MCP, have your tools right at one place. Then we have agent orchestration, which is basically deploying an agent broker, which can connect with other agents along the other ecosystems using MCP and A2A protocol. And then you can actually deploy that agent in using the runtime manager, where then you can either deploy it on let's say Cloud Hub 2.0, Cloud Hub 1.0, or RTF. Uh, because this is something that MuleSoft is leveraging on itself. The orchestration layer, it's likewise the same way as you do it with creating APIs. Then we have governance, where you can apply additional flags gateway agent policies. Now these could be individual to MCP and A2A, but it could be something to the agent as well. You can have rate limiting on your agent. You can have extra authentication there or on the agent. Whoever is invoking the agent, we need to make sure that the user is authenticated. You can have some certain policies so that the agent does not have access to PII data. These could be policies incoming to the agent and outgoing to the agent as well. And in the end, we have agent visualizer, in which all the other agents that you deploy, all the other MCP servers that you deploy, you can actually visualize them. This would be something that I will also cover inside our demonstration as well. So if I follow along, this is some of the architecture that we move along with when we're uh, deploying actual uh, agent fabric on the MuleSoft ecosystem. So let me get my pointer here as well. Yep, here is my result pointer. So what will happen is, whenever the user will prompt, uh, you can orchestrate a smart agent broker. And so what that smart agent broker will do is it will automatically identify which agents do I need to communicate with, and it will automatically know which agents do I have access to through the agent registry, which is basically MuleSoft Anypoint Exchange. So inside Exchange, we can deploy different, we can expose different agents, and so MuleSoft will have access to those agent. So the smart agent broker will be able to communicate with those agents. It will also have access to the MCP servers, and so the smart agent broker and the agent that it has within its ecosystem, it will be able to identify what MCP servers do I have. Now those MCP servers could be within the MuleSoft ecosystem, so you can have your MCP server either deployed on Cloud of 1.0, 2.0, etc. But those MCP server could be something that are outside MuleSoft entirely. uh, those could be MCP servers which are publicly available by other cloud vendors, and you can then easily integrate them through the gateway, and the smart agent broker will easily identify which MCP servers do I need to communicate with. And in return, either your MCP server or your APIs will connect with your external systems, which MuleSoft is integrated with. It could be your database, your ERP system, or so on and so forth. So if I move along, let's talk about Mule AI chain and the MCP connector. So Mule AI chain connector is one of the things in which the MuleSoft Agent Fabric is built upon. Uh, it essentially allows the MuleSoft ecosystem to communicate with all of your AI systems and the AI components. So first of all, it is open source. It is built up on top of LangChain for J. So it is using LangChain for J under the hood. So what other capabilities LangChain provides, the MuleSoft AI chain connector can easily use. You can directly interact with LLMs which are deployed on different cloud providers, either Olama, either GPT, OpenAI, or maybe AWS Bedrocks. But not only you can integrate LLMs, but you also have the option to use RAGs as well, or vector stores, which can be either used within the MuleSoft ecosystem or can be deployed on other external systems. Apart from that, because we all know MuleSoft has 300 pre-built connectors, from Slack to SAP, from Salesforce to MongoDB. You can utilize those pre-built connectors to create your own AI system within the MuleSoft ecosystem. Uh, and if I follow along, this is where MCP truly shines. Now, MCP is one of those protocol that was introduced by Anthropic, and it has taken mainstream it has been a mainstream of how tooling components can be utilized. So within the MuleSoft AI chain, we have what you can essentially do is with this open source protocol, you can either utilize other MCP servers which are deployed on other systems, or what you can do is you can utilize or create your own MCP server within the MuleSoft ecosystem. And within that MCP server, now what you can do is you can utilize all the other pre-built connectors that we have. Let's say using that MCP server, you can connect with any ERP system, you can connect with any Salesforce, any database, and so whenever an AI agent will interact with that MCP server, it will be able to seamlessly interact with your backend system through MuleSoft. So some of the features of MCP is, first of all, it will easily allow developers and business users to manage AI agents within the MuleSoft endpoint platform. It will allow seamless integration with LLM. It actually provides much more optimized performance because MCP, it is built for AI regardless of other protocols that we have. So let's say if you utilize some previous REST APIs or SOAP APIs, AI agents do really work well with MCP. So if you utilize MCP, AI agents will have much more better performance than, let's say, if you use some old school API and API protocols. And again, you can integrate MCP with comprehensive AI tools and services including vector stores, including RAGs, including dynamic tool integration, function calling, all that can be integrated using MCP. So if I move along, what do you think? What is the future of AI with API management? So within the API management feature, and especially this was something that MuleSoft already provides, we have access control and security, we have monitoring and analytics, we have scalability and load balancing, especially with CloudHub 2.0, with their microservice architecture on how we can easily deploy different APIs. Likewise, now we can deploy different agent brokers, we can deploy MCP servers. With monitoring and analytics using the agent visualizer, we can actually track the AI model usage and performance. Using Flex Gateway policies, we can actually secure the AI model access, and we can then prevent unauthorized usage, and then mitigate the risk that we have with prompt injection and generative AI. Uh, Again, because MuleSoft Agent Fabric, it is completely integrated within the MuleSoft ecosystem. You get the same benefits that you have with MuleSoft. You do not need to pay or have some additional licenses. Everything is open source and out of the box. So let's say if you want to have a POC where you want to build an MCP server on MuleSoft, you can easily do it today, especially with versioning and lifecycle management. And because MuleSoft it has its own developer support and documentation, it is continuing support for AI integration and AI tools. So if I move along, now I will try to explain the demo. Uh, So in this demonstration, uh, there are two separate components. One component is with the Salesforce Agent Force ecosystem. The other component is within the MuleSoft ecosystem. So essentially, what I'm going to do is the user is going to prompt on an e-commerce site where the user will try to, let's say, place an order, which will invoke an agent on the Agent Force ecosystem. And so what it will do is it will automatically create an order on let's say uh, inside the Salesforce ecosystem. So what it will do is it will try to identify what is the user intent and automatically create the order inside Salesforce. But along with that, because we have already integrated with the Mule API, it will also create the order on an external system as well. So in this demonstration, we are using ERP Next, but it could be something else is entirely. It could be a database. It could be some any other CRM system, ERP system. So this Agent Force through MuleSoft, it will be able to interact with an external subsystem. Now what we will do is we have an agent broker right inside MuleSoft, which is connected with ERP Next. And what we will do is we will actually use an MCP client. In this case, we will use Cloud Desktop. Now, this could be something that the admin internally can use, or maybe some any other business user can use. But what it will do is it will actually talk with the agent broker on the MuleSoft side, and the agent broker will try to understand, okay, from which part of the data do I need to get the data set from. So let's say the order is created. Now the admin will try to see to retrieve the order. So it will prompt its agent on MuleSoft. It will communicate with the agent broker on MuleSoft, and it will try to get the order from ERP Next. On the other hand, we have also integrated with some transaction data on the ERP Next. So let's say when the admin will say, what transaction got failed, or can you bring me some transaction which got cancelled? Uh, the MuleSoft agent broker will be able to get the data right from ERP Next. So this is from the high level demo architecture side. Now I will like to quickly showcase you the demo in action. So if I go here, yep. So right now over here, what we have gotten is we have a Salesforce Lightning Experience page, which is integrated with a Salesforce Agent Force ecosystem. So if I click on this text message here, let me end this chat and try to open it again. So it will open a new chat conversation with an agent. So let me wait for the agent to initiate. So the agent is actually asking, I am an AI service assistant. How can I help? So let's say for demo purposes, we're targeting like, let's say sales. But let's say if I say, I would like to place an order, right? So because this agent is currently integrated within the Salesforce ecosystem, it is also integrated with the MuleSoft ecosystem as well, and especially ERP Next. So it knows, what are the required parameters. Do I need to perform that specific actions? In this case, it is basically asking, what is the item name, what type of quantity, what is your name. So based on those parameters, it can intelligently identify, how do I need to perform that specific action. Now this could be something more. It could be address information. It could be something related to the customer, related to the product. So let's say if I say over here, I would like to place an order for a laptop, right? Let's say, yeah, I would like to place an order for a laptop, and let's say how it performs, right? So it identified, something is missing. Can you, please let me know the other two details, because these are very necessary. So I can just say, my name is John, and I would have to, buy one laptop. So after gathering all the required information from the customer, the agent force will automatically create the order inside the Salesforce CRM system, but it will also, through the MuleSoft API, it will also create the order inside ERP Next as well. So if I go towards, So this is the Salesforce ecosystem. So if over here, if I click on refresh, you can actually see that the order has been automatically created. Now, if I go to ERP next, now this is the kind of system which is outside the Salesforce ecosystem entirely. But through the MuleSoft APIs, through the MuleSoft Agent Fabric, this Agent Force agent was able to interact with ERP Next as well. So if I click on refresh, now you can see that uh, that the order is actually placed over here, and this is possible through API catalog and the topic center that both the Salesforce and the MuleSoft Agent Fabric have provided. So over here you can see these are the kind of APIs that the Agent Force agent is automatically calling. These are being exposed with API policies and the API manager. So you can actually see that there we have versions in place over here. And so the agent force agent knows what type of invocable actions I can perform on the MuleSoft ecosystem. So if I go here, inside MuleSoft Exchange, you can actually see this is the API that we have exposed right inside MuleSoft inside Salesforce ecosystem. So it basically calls this API, especially this orders one. It automatically identifies what are the right correct parameters, and then through this API, it is able to create an order right inside ERP Next. Now, if I showcase one of the key things of the Agent Force Agent Fabric, so it would be this new interface that they have provided. First of all, is the agent and tools. So likewise, I was saying all of your agents, whether they are deployed on other system, all of your other MCP servers, all of your other LLMs or LLM publicly available LLMs that you're using, that can all be can be published over here, and then they become discoverable. So over here, we not only have MCP servers which are publicly available as an MCP marketplace, like we have GitHub, we have Amplify, we have Prisma, we have Hugging Face, but we can essentially integrate other MCP servers as well, or create our own MCP server and expose them here. So what this essentially allows us over here, like let's say I have created an ERP Next MCP server. I'm using Claude Anthropic as an LLM, and what I've done is I have created an ERP Next agent, and everything I have published it over here. So this essentially allows me to create an ERP Next broker, and once I create that broker, now what I can do is I can actually interact with that broker and perform some actions on those systems and subsystems as well. So if I quickly show you the agent visualizer, once you publish your assets over there, now inside the agent visualizer, you can actually see and map, what type of brokers you have deployed, what type of agents you have deployed, what type of MCP servers you have deployed. Now, this could be something within the MuleSoft ecosystem or outside the MuleSoft ecosystem. It could be something you can have your agents on Microsoft Copilot. You can have your agents on AWS. Once you publish them over here, then you can visualize them and orchestrate them, apply some policies on them. So this truly is something that MuleSoft has identified a problem and really solved it. So over here we can then quickly see what type of agent, what type of broker this agent is using, what type of policies this agent actually has. Now let me quickly show you the MCP uh, server and client infrastructure. Let's say this could be something that the admins could be using. So as an MCP client, I am using Claude Desktop. Now for in your use case, it could be something else. It could be an agent directly communicating. But for ease of use, I'm using an MCP client as a Claude Desktop. So over here, if I click on the plus icon, you can inside connector, you can see that it is already integrated with a Mule server. So I've actually I have published an agent broker which has an MCP server also running, which is integrated with ERP Next. And so my MCP client is directly integrated with that server. So right now what I can do is I can directly go here and I can say what are the orders for today and what are the available vendors, for instance. right? And click on enter. So my agent will be able to identify, what is the correct tool do I need to call, and how do I need to communicate with the correct agent broker. So using this, I was able to get the details from the system. So this is the same order that we created inside ERP Next. It is also able to bring some information from our vendors as well. Now I'm going to perform an action. Now let's say if I say, cancel this order for me. So this agent will automatically identify, what are the required parameters to cancel this order, and it will automatically perform that action for me. So right now it is saying, okay, I have canceled that order. If I go back to ERP Next, click on refresh, so you can actually see that the order is actually cancelled. So if I go back over here, uh, because I am integrated with ERP Next, and there are some transactions as well, so I can also get some transaction related data. So let's say if I say, what are the transactions which got cancelled. So again, big, eh, the agent will be able to identify through my natural language prompt, uh, that how do I need to communicate with the agent broker, call the right tool, and then it's basically, telling me uh, what type of data is getting. So it basically replied that, I didn't find any cancels status inside the data, but it did find, that there was a failed transaction in the name of Alice Johnson. So the main purpose of this demonstration is how, separate system, how our agent force agent is able to communicate with an external system through MuleSoft, how MuleSoft Agent Fabric has allowed us to expose and publish different assets which are available in the market, and how we can then utilize those assets within the MuleSoft ecosystem. So I believe that is all from the demo side. Uh, Ali, if you can chime in with this exclusive event offer, then we can s- go ahead straight into the Q&A.
Thank you very much, Awes. It was pretty insightful. I was just listening to all of this, and hats off. You've explained things so well. Now,
Thank you.
let's talk about the exclusive event offer today. So we have this offer for our listeners who are basically have joined us in this webinar today and would like to discuss the AI related use cases. So we've got two options for them. They can join in the assessment, which is again a complimentary assessment that we are offering today to our listeners. There will be a use case identification and scoping. We'll also understand and discuss the integration and AI based scoping of your MuleSoft and Salesforce based ecosystem or AgentForce based ecosystem. Then we'll discuss the customization review, and we'll provide you a deliverable which includes a proposed solution to overcome the challenge of what you already will discuss. We'll project the ROI based on that. There will be a concrete implementation plan and timelines around it, and then includes an implementation cost. And then the other package that we have is the Jumpstart one, which includes the stakeholders introduction. It's going to be a full-fledged use case, which will identify it from start to end at a discounted offer, and ultimately provides, a visual impact within 4 to 6 weeks to you for that use case. That how is this going to actually work, and what is the ROI it's going to generate. And one important thing that I wanted to talk about is that in case if you have something in your mind and you would like to discuss that with us, so you can always write to us in a follow-up session as an email, which is info@royalcyber.com, and we'll be happy to kind of answer all of your specific questions with regards to Agent Force or MuleSoft or Salesforce or even the whole ecosystem of the um, agentic AI based use cases. So, as part of our next session, we're moving towards the last part, which is the question and answer session. And in those question and answer session, we're going to take the questions in the order in which they are received. And I will start OS with you for the first one. Uh,
Mhm.
So there is a question from the audience that you have mentioned the agent ready protocols. How are agent ready protocols different from the APIs we already have, and do you need to redesign existing APIs to support the AI agents?
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay. So I think that's a really good question. So first of all, agent-ready protocols don't replace your existing APIs. What they do is they wrap and augment your existing APIs. Uh, because we all know that traditional APIs, either they are REST or SOAP, they are used uh, for deterministic system-to-system calls. But AI it needs more input and output. It has its own logic, it has its own fuzzy output and input. So these agent ready protocols actually allow AI agents to actually have more awareness, have more context, and perform the right action or call the right tool at the right time. So with MuleSoft, we know that most of your existing APIs, they will remain unchanged. But using these new standard protocols, including A2A and MCP, we can actually wrap your existing APIs and perform and provide a much better platform for AI agents.
Great. Hmm. Okay. Great. So with that, there is another one from the
Mhm.
audience. The question is, with risk like prompt injections and data leakages, how do you secure the AI agents and control what enterprise data can access?
Mhm. So yeah, this is something that both MuleSoft and Salesforce have provided. So they have their own governance and security layer. In case of Salesforce, they have an Einstein secure layer where they try to mitigate all of these risk and data leakage. But on the other hand, if we talk about MuleSoft, they have their own Flex gateway and they have additional uh, API policies, especially for AI agents, where you can then mitigate all of those risks by applying those policies. And so this is, uh, uh, Agent Fabric and Einstein Trust Layer. This is something both of them try to mitigate. What this actually helps the agent to do is it's to get it's to reduce their risk of prompt injection or PI handling of PII data.
Okay, cool. So basically, what you're saying is that the Einstein layer will basically help and could secure the AI agents. And
Yes.
what enterprise data do they need to access? Okay, good. There is another one. So why do MCP servers fit in the real enterprise architecture alongside API gateways and integration platforms?
So to answer that question, because MCP is a very new protocol, I know a lot of enterprises are very hesitant. What MCP really is, how do we deploy it? So if you think of MCPs as the context and capability bridge between AI and AI systems, uh, so so in practice, then MCP servers will actually allow your agentic systems to perform a lot more better. They will allow to expose your enterprise data, your tools, your workflows in a very standardized way, which a lot of different old school protocols do not really allow. So if it also provides not only the knowledge but also provides real time data as well, as I have showcased in the demo. And so this is a sort of protocol, a lot of big tech companies, a lot of enterprises, even startups are adopting.
Great, very
Hmm.
nice. So, okay, let's move on to our question again. The question is, how do AI agents discover, coordinate, and delegate tasks to each other without the hard-coded integrations? That's a good question.
Yeah, yeah. So this is something Agent Fabric has also tried to solve, and especially with the new A2A protocol. So within Agent Fabric, what MuleSoft is introducing, they are introducing agent scanners. So what those agent scanners will do is you just need to provide your uh, about your environment, about your agents which are deployed on other existing platforms, and that agent scanner will automatically will try to identify what other AI agents are available on those platforms. And then using the A2A protocol, your agent broker will be able to communicate with those agents which are external to the MuleSoft ecosystem. So that A2A protocol, which stands for agent to agent protocol, it will actually help build that how agents can actually discover each other, talk with each other, communicate with each other, delegate tasks to each other, especially how humans actually do it, how humans communicate with each other and delegate tasks. So the key to the answer is especially that A2A protocol, and how MuleSoft Agent Fabric has actually extended that protocol into much more deeper integration.
Great. Okay. Um, I think this is the last question we have from the audience. If we already have hundreds of APIs, how do we make them discoverable and reusable by AI agents at scale?
Okay, so to answer that question, it would be much more better not to expose all of your APIs directly to agents. What you do is you essentially try to curate them, and you try to understand and govern them. Which APIs are essential, which APIs or which APIs do we need to to have some MCP servers on built on top of it. uh, so because within the MuleSoft ecosystem, we have API catalog, we have Exchange. You can easily identify, which of those APIs are essential and can be easily utilized by AI agents. And then they can be enriched with much more better business context and ownership as well. Especially using endpoint monitoring, you can identify which APIs are really essential and can be easily automated with agentic workflows.
Great. So I think since there are no more further questions from the audience, I think we'll wrap it up. We'll give another 30 seconds to wrap this up if there are any other further questions. Otherwise, we'll say thank you very much for all of our listeners listening to us today and understanding. And if you have any of those use cases that you would like to discuss with us, please feel free to reach out to us at which is our email address, and that is info@royalcyber.com. And in the meantime, I would request once you're going to leave this session, there will be a survey at the end of this session that we will really request you to fill, and that will help us to understand and improve our services a little bit better. And we'll try to also, come up with some sort of new topics that may help you guys in future as well. So that being said, we'll take a leave from here now, and we'll see you in the next webinar and talk about some new exciting topics. Thank you and have a good one. Thank you, Wes. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you, Ali. Bye.